to my community. Please, this is a message directly to my community. Please take a moment to listen to this video, and if you agree with it, then share it with other YouTubers and media reporters alike. I've been a YouTuber for 5 years, and in that time, I've never once gone into politics, because as a YouTuber, it's not really my responsibility, or I don't feel like it's my responsibility to teach you what you should believe and what political opinions you should have. However, the British government is currently trying to slander, discredit, and defame my little brother, who is a Royal Marine Commando, simply for opposing something that he felt personally would result in the death of Marines. Now, by making this video and by standing with my little brother, the British government will most likely come for me next. They may have this video removed, they might have both my channels demonetized, and they'll probably try and dig up some dirt to discredit me. I want them to know that there is nothing I won't sacrifice for my family. So, with that being said, what's actually happened? My little brother expressed some concerns over dangerous DEI policies within a Corps of Royal Marines, and he made a petition to express those concerns. 1,000 Royal Marine Commandos signed that petition within 24 hours, and then the petition was taken down, and the chain of command circulated messages saying that it was Russian disinformation. It wasn't Russian disinformation, it was my little brother and 1,000 Royal Marine Commandos. So what did the Ministry of Defence decide to do? Well, instead of addressing the problem that all of these Royal Marines Commandos had signed up for, instead what they did is they started a witch hunt to try and locate the individual that started this petition so that they could make their life hell. One of the ways they did that was Marines were literally taken into bright lit rooms and interrogated to try and give up one of their brothers. And yet, guess what? Nobody gave him up, because the bootnecks have got principles, something the chain of command could take a lesson from. Now, after weeks of intimidation and threats, my little brother began to feel bad for his friends, for the guys around him who were all being threatened and intimidated by the Ministry of Defence. And so he went to his chain of command, put his hand up and said, "It was me that started the petition." And so what did they do? Well, they flew him down to the main mod Ministry of Defence building in London on the other side of the country and interrogated him, where they threatened him, his career, and his family. Well, guess what? I'm his family, and I'm going to shine a light on your total abuse of power, you shameful, pitiful, weak cowards. Now, after his first interrogation was over, he then went on holiday with his wife to decompress. But guess what happens next? He then arrives back into the United Kingdom, where on arrival there's 5 police officers waiting for specifically him. He's then dragged into another interrogation room, this time under the Section 7 Terrorism Act. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to even start. Just to be clear, that means he has no right to a lawyer. He has no right to silence. He must answer every single question. He must turn over all of his possessions and give them access to his phone and essentially all his passwords. Just to be clear, my little brother is not a criminal, and for the love of God, he is certainly not a terrorist. He is a patriot, and he is a member, a serving member of the armed forces. But because freedom is being eroded and justice is backwards under this British government, what they decided to do was strip him of his possessions in order to try and find something so they can go, haha, look, he was a bad guy after all. This is what justice and freedom look like for a patriot and a serving member of the armed forces in British society today. Freedom. You gotta love it. Let's make this very, very clear. None of this would have ever happened if he just stayed quiet about that DEI policy. And so what happens next? What they're gonna do is they're gonna try and slander, defame, and discredit him to make him look like a far-right radical, instead of addressing the concerns of 1,000 Royal Marines in a one-day period. Sure, the reason they're trying to do this is because they're going to make an example of him. Because if they crucify him, then nobody will ever again have the courage to stand up and resist this ridiculous political brain rot. Now, this sort of thing only ever happens because my little brother doesn't have a platform. He's an elite soldier. He doesn't have social media, and he has no ability to amplify his voice, which is why I am here doing that for him. I will give him that platform, and I will give him that voice. I ask that everybody watching this spreads this message far and wide. Asmongold TV, Elon Musk, JD Vance, hell, even send it to Donald Trump. I don't care. Whoever is willing to show that the British government that recently claimed that we have a free society and freedom of speech, this is what actually happens. This is the reality. This is what happens if you actually stand up for what you believe. Remember, all of this spawned from him being concerned about people dying in battle, and this is the response. So YouTubers, anybody else who's listening to this, reporters, I ask that you stand up for your principles and you stick your neck out. We are slowly losing our freedoms and our society is eroding and decaying in front of our very eyes. And to those of you who are pushing this agenda, be aware that we have already recorded part 2. We know the playbook, what you're going to do next with trying to slander and defame him and make him seem like an extremist so you can discredit and ignore his concerns rather than actually just addressing them. And I will be releasing that soon if this continues to go downhill, because we know what you're going to say. We know what you're going to do. It's so unbelievably predictable because you've done it a million times before. All of this could have just been resolved by sitting down and having a conversation about the policy, which is why they made the petition. But no, we've got to do this. I did not want to make this video. I did not want to do politics. I have been a YouTuber for 5 years and I never intended on introducing you to politics. I will not stand and stay silent whilst they criticize and crucify my brother, whilst I know who he is. I know what he stands for. I know he's a good person and I know he is concerned about the Marines, and he doesn't want to look back in 10 years time and see somebody's been killed in battle and be the one thinking, oh well, if only I had said something. So he stuck his neck out and they've chopped it off. I'll be sure to link alternative versions of this video down below because they will probably remove it and demonetize me and potentially take my channel. I'll also be sure to link down below something so that you can go and see what was actually in the petition for itself, because in the petition they said this was going to happen, and look at what happened. Wow, how predictable. YouTubers, I'm going to ask you to step up and cover this. I'm one of you, with this, if this doesn't get covered, they'll get us both. To be honest, it's a selfish request. They will come for us, and if there's not enough noise, if we don't make enough stink out of this, they will get me. They will come for me, and they'll come for my little brother, and that'll be it. So we're making a stand, and we hope that you will stand with us. Sorry for getting into politics. Principles matter, and more people should stand by them. Thank you for your time. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, and of course, stay peaceful.